Good evening, everybody. I'm grateful to the Global Eye Forum for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be here with all of you. And thank you, especially Mr. Parvez Yat, my batchmate and a good friend. You must be wondering, what is a tax officer doing on this dais talking about social sector? Well, as you know, that taxes provide resources for the social sector interventions. So we have a very strong umbilical cord with the social sector, actually, to say so. Uh, yes, I was in the Ministry of Women and Child as a JS about 2 years back, but whatever I'm going to say today is based on whatever data is available in the public forum and public domain. And what better way to start than with the budget speech of the FM yesterday? The social sector includes education, health, rural development, urban development, population welfare, and other issues. The Honorable Prime Minister has always been talking about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, aimed at ease of living. This is the India of 21st century which he is dreaming of. This is the vision of India which is aspirational. India that is healthy, India which is educated, where men, women, and children are safe. There is highly skilled workforce available with entrepreneurial spirit, and India which is socially and economically inclusive. This is what is the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister. And this vision is reflected in the budget speech of the FM yesterday, when she spoke about a caring society with focus on women and child and social welfare. In this context, I would say empowerment of women to improve social and human index, skilling of youth to reap the benefits of demographic dividend is a must. In terms of women, apart from women-centric schemes, we must now start moving and looking at women-driven initiatives also in the sector. Uh, all of you must have noticed the emphasis which the Honorable FM laid on in her budget speech on Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Now, this is a scheme which is very close to the heart of the Prime Minister, and rightly so, because this is a scheme which has brought tremendous changes all around. The gross enrollment ratio of girls has now become higher than boys. At the elementary level, it is 94.32% as against 89.28% for the boys. At the secondary level, it has increased to 81.32% as compared to 78%. And higher secondary levels, the girls have achieved a level of 59.70% as compared to 57.54% for the boys. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao today is applicable to every district of the country, which is about 640 districts, which is no mean achievement at all. And the focus in this, I know there are a lot of memes and WhatsApp messages which talk of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, the reverse. But that's not true. The scheme, when it is being implemented in its true spirit, has definitely brought about an improvement in terms of the skilling of the women, in terms of encouraging them to go to school. And Beti Bachao is not just about Beti Padhao. It has a lot of ancillary things included in it. It includes even nutritious meal for the adolescent girls in school, which is very important in terms of health. And it is very important that women and children are a bhagidar in this whole process of empowerment of women and children, and for that they must be healthy. Health of the mother and child are intertwined, and nutrition is a critical component. Poshan Abhiyan, another scheme of the Honorable Prime Minister emphasized upon, is aimed at improving the nutritional status of children of 0 to 6 years, adolescent girls, pregnant women, and lactating mothers. It targets to reduce stunting among children, undernutrition and anemia, low birth weight babies, and generally reduce malnutrition and undernutrition among the children. Today, there are more than 6 lakh Anganwadi workers who are equipped with smartphones, thanks to Melinda and Bill Gates, to upload the nutritional status of more than 10 crore households. And the budget has provided 35,600 crore for nutrition-related programs for the financial year 2021. Nutrition, you will agree with me, is very critical to our society if we have aspirations of developing into a world-class economy, 5 trillion economy. Because if with poor nutrition, the maternal mortality rate is also very high. Loss of children is also infant mortality is also very high. Plus, even if you have a labor force which is not well nourished, you will have problems, even in agriculture or industry or anywhere. If you have a labor force which is weak and which is not up to the mark, your manufacturing sector and everything will suffer. Then another very important scheme which has benefited lakhs of women is Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana, a maternity benefit program where over 17 lakh women have been benefited they have been provided about 6,000 for the first child during their pregnancy and lactation period. And this is through DBT mode, which ensures that the money goes to them directly into their account. This was essential because what we had noticed when I was also there, the scheme was then also, that a lot of money was being siphoned off by various people, and it was not going to the pregnant and lactating mother. As a result, she never had nutritious feed, and as a result, the babies were also not very healthy. So this scheme has helped almost 17 lakh women. Then there's an allocation for one-stop center scheme, again for helping women, which has been given an increase of from 204 crores to 385 crores in this fiscal year. This one-stop center is a scheme whereby women in distress can go and get support there. They not only get legal aid, they also get aid for, they are able to stay there at least for some time, and some skill development also. So this is especially for distressed women, a lot of women who suffer from domestic violence. So if we look at the budget figures, we find that almost 28,600 crore for programs that are specific for women has been provided. Now, all this money is obviously the taxpayers' money, which we in the tax department are collecting. So now you understand what is the connection between the tax department and the social sector. Then similarly, allocation for child protection services program under ICDS has also been increased from 1,500 crore to from 1,350 crore to 1,500 crore. Under ICDS, again, the Anganwadis are there where 0 to 6-year children go. They're also given nutritious meals, hot meals during one meal. Pregnant and lactating mothers also come. They are also given meals there. And the children are taught basics, so there is elementary education also. And again, the Anganwadi worker is kind of the fulcrum of the village around which all these women and children rotate. And she is like one stop or one woman who knows everything, how to handle issues. And that is, you would agree with me, a very important factor when we look at the village where dissemination of information is a big problem. So I find yesterday's budget, when I was looking at, I was obviously looking at the tax proposals much more intensely. But at the same time, I was listening very intently to the social sector proposals of the government, because having worked there, there was some kind of a sort of feel-good factor to realize that the WCD budget has been increased by almost 14%. And a sum of 30,000 crore, 3,007 crore has been earmarked for WCD ministry for the next financial year, which is an increase of almost 14%. Then another initiative which was announced by the Prime Minister, which has a long range impact, is to relook at the women's age of marriage, which is currently at 18 years. This entire issue, as the FM said, about age of girl entering motherhood needs to be seen in the light of lower MMR, that is lower maternal mortality rate, as well as improvement of nutrition levels and providing opportunities to girls for higher education and career. So this is an initiative which has been introduced in this budget, and I hope will go a long way in helping the women and the young girls, because very often in my interaction, I did come across young girls who wanted to study, but because of the family pressure And it was difficult to explain to the parents also that do not stop their studies because they had their own compulsions. The only thing which we could stop was child marriage, that below 18, please ensure that the girl does not get married. And for that, the ministry had also started a lot of programs, and people who are involved in a marriage ceremony were the people who were, sort of tapped and asked to give us information, like the pandit or the dholwala, etc., that the girl who's getting married is below 18 years. And by that, we were able to stop a lot of marriages, especially on Kartik Purnima, because that's a date where you don't need any muratam, at least in the Hindu marriages. So we had kept special vigil. NCPCR is the statutory commission which looks after the child rights. Plus, there are various NGOs who used to be on their toes, literally on the Kartik Purnima day, to ensure that no child marriages took place. Then, apart from the focus on women, another sector which needs to be really focused upon is health. And Ayushman Bharat program has been expanded again. This has provided scope not only for development of more human resources, whether in terms of doctors, nurses, or attendants, along with the need for manufacturing of medical devices in the country. Then PM Jan Arogya Yojana, there are more than 20,000 empaneled hospitals all over the country, but this needs to expand and move to 2-tier and 3-tier cities, because there also our people need this kind of support. Then Fit India movement is another movement which has been started against lifestyle diseases. And the intent is to, obviously, as it says, to keep people fit and healthy so that diseases like blood pressure and diabetes, etc., are on the decline. Then using machine learning and artificial intelligence in Ayushman Bharat scheme, health authorities and medical fraternity can target diseases with appropriately designed preventive regimes. So all these schemes which have been focused upon in the budget, and health sector has been allocated 6,429 crore, are aimed towards making our society a strong society in terms of fitness, in terms of skills, in terms of education. And these are very important aspects of social sector development. Similarly, the government has also given boost to child protection services in the budget. Then safety of our children is imperative if they have to grow in a happy and a safe environment. It's necessary to address their vulnerabilities, whether in school or on the street. Our children, including our street-connected children and abandoned homeless children, also need security, good health, education, need to learn life skills and self-discipline so as to be future-ready and be able to sustain themselves. So even Ministry of Women and Child also focuses on these child protection services. So apart from women and child, you find social sector is spread across health, education, and so many other line ministries. And we find that especially in education, we need young adults who can innovate, ideate, and not be constrained by number of marks obtained in the exam. So if you had followed the Prime Minister's interaction with the students on Pariksha Pe Charcha, you would realize that he had actually kind of motivated the students to, sort of get into innovation, and rather than just focus on the marks achieved. And by that, it was a message also with the parents that don't just focus on the marks and that your child has cleared the IIT entrance or the medical entrance, etc. There are so many other vocations, and as the predecessor, in the previous session, they said even agriculture is something which you should look at, and especially if we have to feed our own population and feed them effectively. So this is another area which, as parents, we have a responsibility to help our children to go into innovations and ideations, because we need to develop the entrepreneurs of the future. Not all, all jobs can be provided by the government. So our young people have to be entrepreneurs. And as the Prime Minister said, and I quote, budget focuses skill development of the youth through new and innovative initiatives like apprenticeship in degree courses, internship in local bodies, and online degree courses. So in my view, in the budget, both constraints in skill acquisition and constraints in skill utilization have been focused upon through internship and incentives to startups. Then we realized that today the youthful aspiration population wants rapid economic transformation, especially in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And technology has to be at the forefront of this attempt to transform India. So there was adequate focus on technology and artificial intelligence in the various provisions of the budget, if you have followed it. So I know we have a lot of eminent speakers, and I won't take too much of your time. So these were some of the thoughts and interactions which I had when I was in WCD and which I have been following in the public domain. And as I said that yesterday, my focus was both on taxation and the social sector announcements. And to conclude, as I see today, India is at two levels. One, India which is racing ahead as they have access to resources and opportunities to do so. The other, which has to be consciously and in a targeted manner provided access and opportunities by the state, based on selected indicators to optimize the ongoing efforts. Then only there will be Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. This budget has seen the social development program get a big push in line with the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister. The performance of the social sector, in my opinion, is the key to achieving this transformational vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, and all of us need to work towards it. Thank you so much.